Welcome to Next Play.
Welcome back to Next Play. Today we got Packers wide receiver Christian Watson joining us today. Christian, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
No complaints on my end. No complaints.
Yeah, we are so excited, mostly me, because I am a huge Packer fan, to have you on and talk about the mental side of the game with us. So I'm going to jump in. I think everyone knows who you are out there, but I want to let them know how incredible you are and give a little bit of your accolades on here. So hang in there with this, as every athlete we have on, it's painful, but you deserve to be bragged upon. So you're a four-time FCS regional champion, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2021. So was that 2020 season, COVID?
It was. Yep, it was COVID season.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
That's brutal. First time All-American during your redshirt junior season, second team All-American during your redshirt senior season, second team All MVFC Missouri Valley Football Conference 2019, two-time first team All MVFC 2020, 2021, second pick of the second round, 34th overall. That was a mistake. You should have been way higher. In the 2022 NFL draft by the Green Bay Packers, and the only wide receiver from North Dakota State University that was drafted in the last 37 years, which is insane. Since then, has anyone been any wide receiver since been drafted?
I mean, off the top of my head, it's hard to know. I know there have been quite a few NDSU wide receivers that have gotten chances in the league. Whether it be undrafted, free agent signings and whatnot. But I mean, honestly, I don't read into that stuff too much or look back too much. But I mean,
I figured
sure.
After you, they have to they have to be looking. They have to be.
No,
we've
got a solid couple guys coming out here this year. Trey Lance's little brother Bryce Lance, was dominant at North Dakota State. So I think he'll have a good shot at getting drafted. Hopefully earlier on in the draft, and excited for him for sure.
Yeah, well, we're thankful that you fell where you did, the Packer Nation. And then lastly, your NFL career, you've had 133 receptions, 2,264 receiving yards, and 20 receiving touchdowns. So amazing year. I know it didn't end the way you wanted or any Packer did, but you're so damn fun to watch. Wondering how you're feeling mentally and physically, postseason right now. How you doing?
I'm feeling really good, honestly. I mean, obviously, we know how, last year ended for me, and, going into, off seasons in the past, hasn't been, the best situation, health wise. So just to go into an off season, feeling, good, as good as I can be, obviously the toll of the season is always there, soreness and whatnot, but just to come out, walking on two legs, and feeling good. I mean, it's just, I'm definitely, blessed to be in this position, and I'm feeling really good. I'm excited to get an off season where I can just, attack football, reset a little bit mentally, but, definitely ready to get after this off season for sure.
Yeah, I bet it. Awesome. All right, Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, coming off your most productive year on a per game basis, tell me about that comeback, because obviously a huge injury with the ACL. Tell me about how that comeback was and how you were able to have, your most productive year.
I mean, I think it all just kind of started with, my mentality and my approach to the injury. Obviously it's a really tough injury for anybody to deal with. But I mean, at the same time, it's a part of the game. I think they say it all the time. It's a 100% injury rate league. So, you just gotta kind of take take the card that's dealt to you. And, unfortunately that was, a part of my story, but, I just try to take it, as best as I could, go into it with a good mindset. It was a chance for me to, attack that rehab process, get stronger, mentally and physically. And that was kind of just the approach I had every single day. Approached it with a get better mindset. And I feel like that kind of just helped me stay into it throughout the rehab process. It helped me, not wake up and feel, that's the stagnant, long drawn out process of,
Yeah.
ACL recovery. You're kind of just locked into like a 3 to 4 week period of you can't do any more than this. You just have to do this. So it kind of just helped me, get over those hums throughout the process, just staying positive and just taking the small wins throughout the process. That was definitely huge for me.
Absolutely.
That makes me, that was a question I had. What do you think people don't know about the mental toll injury has, the behind the scenes? Because most people watching, right, they see the injury, you go away, you come back, they don't get the inside look of it. So is there something you feel like, you could share that people don't know about the mental side of injury?
Oh man, I think the one thing that I would say that not necessarily that people don't know, just that a lot of people don't consider as much when guys are going through things is that number one, nobody wants to be going through any of this. So
Yep.
obviously just to start it off, um, no one's more upset, no one's more mad at the
Yeah.
situation that they're in than the person that's in that situation. So, obviously just, we know it's an entertainment business. We know that there's a lot of stuff that's, going on outside of the field in terms of, people wanting to see, the players that they want to see out there, playing football. But, yeah, kind of like I said, nobody wants to be out there on the field
That's a good thing to say.
more
Than you.
more than the person that's going through those things. So that's the number one thing for me. People don't really consider that it's a lot of stuff that kind of goes into that process, and it's a lot of negativity and
Yeah.
just a lot of, it hurts the player more than just the injury that they've endured. Obviously the mental side is hard. We get paid a lot to do what we do, but we put a lot on the line to do what we do as well. So it's just it's really tough for players, how no matter how small the injury is. Even if it's an injury that you can go out there and you can continue to play with. Just the fact that you have to go out there and you're hurting, you're trying to push through. It's a lot on the players to have to go through those things. So I feel like that's kind of the main thing. It's hard to go through those things. Guys are like, oh, why is he not out there? Why is he dealing with this hamstring for 6 weeks? Like, it's been 6 weeks, there's no way he shouldn't be okay. Well, probably along that process he wanted to come back in 2 weeks and he pushed a little too hard and set himself back. So there's a lot of things that go into trying to get back from these injuries and getting back to 100% to go out there and play. I feel like that's kind of the main thing that's I feel like people know that, but they kind of overlook it because they just want to see the players out there. So
and some people just don't know it because they've never dealt with injury. You always have those that have no clue.
That's true as well. And then you got like the social media doctors who are like, he should be out 3 to 4 weeks. So then it gets to that 3 to 4 week mark. Why is he not out there? Well, obviously every injury is different. So it's a lot. It
is a lot. Yeah. You've had a lot of injuries. So you've, done it again and again. And that sort of, I'll let Owen go. I know Owen had a follow-up for that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So this year, one drop all year, how much can you devote that to, the physical preparation versus like the mental side? Like one drop all year, that's not many can say they do that.
Honestly, I'd attribute that a lot to just the mental side. Because kind of like I was saying, this offseason will be like the first offseason in a couple of years where I'll just be able to go into it and just focus 100% on football. Last offseason I don't think I caught a pass running a route full speed from the Chicago game where I got hurt probably until honestly, probably until like the end of training camp. That's probably that's a good like 7-8 month span of not running a route full speed and catching a pass from an NFL quarterback. So honestly, I didn't get a lot of that football specific training and kind of just getting into that routine. So I think a lot of it was just kind of holding that confidence that I had going through that season. Because honestly, I think that even last season, before the injury and stuff like that, I felt like I was in a really good spot mentally. The confidence was there, everything was there. Obviously just, got hurt and that
Yeah.
kind of put a hold on the football stuff. But I kept that, mentality and that confidence throughout my, rehab process. So I was just, standing there, catching, footballs off the jug machine. I was, in that space mentally of, all right, well, I'm out there on the football field, fourth quarter, gotta, catch this for, it's 3rd and 8, gotta catch this. And that was kind of my mentality throughout, that process, regardless of what I was doing. It was 100%, attacking mindset, regardless of what I was doing. I feel like that kind of just helped me, stay in that zone mentally. And then when I got back out on the football field, it didn't feel like I, hadn't caught a pass, in 8 months. It felt like, it was just yesterday that I was, out there running full speed. So I think that's definitely what helped me keep that confidence throughout the process and just helped me kind of just hit the ground running.
That's awesome. When we work with athletes, we talk so much about the visualization being such an important part, especially during injury, because the muscle memory, right? The reaction time when the brain's practicing it comes back quicker. And I think the buy-in, hearing you say it is great since you're at the level you're at. But are there other mindset stuff that you lean into outside of that kind of visualization or practicing the 3rd and 8 in your mind? Is there other things that you tap into, breathing or whatever it might be?
Breathing is actually huge. I've actually just kind of probably like 3 months ago, I was talking with one of the physical therapists that I work with, and he was kind of telling me about his experience with breathing techniques and that stuff. So that's something that I haven't tapped into a lot. I have like a couple like techniques that I've used just to try to when I'm really winded and I need to try to catch my breath. It's pretty basic stuff, but it's definitely something I want to tap into more because I feel like that's definitely something that can really give you the edge, when you're,
sure.
out there in the game and you're exhausted or you're tired or, you just ran a deep route. You got to come back and run another one. So that's definitely something I want to tap into. But in terms of mentally, I feel like the main thing for me has just been, trying to stay as grounded as possible. I was, blessed and fortunate to, have some, beautiful things going on for me off the field. My son was born, my first child, my son was born in September. So I feel like, just the support system that I've had off the field has, been huge in terms of just grounding me and keeping me in a really good place, off the field, which, definitely goes kind of hand in hand with, the stuff on the field as well. So, I feel like just trying to stay as grounded as possible and, never too high, never too low, but just, kind of just, embracing everything. And I feel like that's been really big for me in terms of coming back from injury and just staying in a good spot mentally.
Yeah. Cool. Tell me about that transition. I've always wondered this with pro athletes. Like, obviously when you're in college, everyone's kind of around the same age. And then when you get drafted, you're in the locker room with people that, like someone like Rodgers, you know what I mean? That's 40 years old. Like, how is that transition? Is it hard when not everyone's the same age, or, you know what I mean? I know one of my good girlfriends is a Van Ness. So I know Lucas Van Ness a little bit, and he was telling us like, yeah, it's weird. Like, I'm used to hanging out with like all kids my age. And then you get to the locker room and it's like, there's 30-year-old guys in there with kids. So how was that transition for you coming out of NDSU?
It's definitely a little bit weird. But if there's one thing about that you'll learn really quickly is, the NFL gives you an opportunity to stay a kid for a lot longer.
Yeah, true.
Regardless of, what's, going on in your life, having kids. But I think that, a good side of it is that it kind of allows you to, obviously you have a lot of stuff that you have to deal with, like you have to be smart about what you're doing financially and, obviously staying out of trouble off the field. But I feel like, it's a pretty obvious thing to say that, when you're kind of just thrown out into, like a regular job, you finish college and you have to go look for a job. I feel like that definitely kind of, forces you to grow up in more ways than, the NFL. You're playing a game for a living. I don't want to undermine, what we do, because, obviously I think that, what we do is really difficult. But in terms of, just everything that you have to deal with, I feel like it's a smaller pool of problems than, obviously just, having to go out there and find a job in a, a regular workplace and all that stuff. So I mean, you have a 35-year-old guy that you meet that has, 3 kids and a wife and a family, but he's a lot more similar to you than you think, coming in as a 21-year-old than probably, if I was going, to work in an insurance company and then you meet a 35-year-old guy, it's probably, a lot, that would probably feel a lot different. Obviously, I don't know that for sure, but
I'm thinking it does.
I'll let you know in a year when I'm doing that. So.
But yeah, no, I feel like it definitely it's easier than it seems, but it is a little weird at first. Trying to really relate and socialize with someone who's obviously from a whole different place, obviously, but then you add on top of that they're 10, 12, 15 years older than you as well.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, we know that the mantra in the wide receiver room is no block, no rock. Can you tell me a little bit about that and where that stemmed from? And also
I heard were amazing at block. I watched it, but you were known to be one of the better blockers this year. Am I right on that?
I mean, I try. I definitely try.
Okay. This is where my bias shows up.
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, just going back and kind of reflecting on the year, I definitely would, I personally, I like to be, really critical of myself. I would say that there was, not in the year as a whole, because I definitely, had, a good mindset going into games and whatnot. But, just obviously dealing with, ACL and obviously the physicality that the NFL, has and going to those games. I definitely would have liked to have been a little bit better. And I wish I had, like 4 or 5 plays back throughout the season of just trusting in my knee and, trusting that, I can go down there and, dig out a safety in certain situations. But I mean, yeah, that's definitely a mentality that you got to have, with the Green Bay Packers, because, we're going to run the football a lot. We're going to put a lot on the wide receivers' plates. So that's definitely a big thing for us. You got to be able to do your 111. I mean, we preach that, pretty much every single day, every single week. Everyone's got to win your one-on-one, whether it's, going down and, running the go ball and winning on that, or, it's a, inside zone run play and you got the safety down low on your side. You got to go in there and get them. Everybody has, a role on each and every play. So, we definitely, preach a lot of that of, just kind of owning your role, never too big for any, job.
Anybody,
no, I mean, that's definitely something that we preach. And I think, all of our wide receivers do a really good job at embracing that.
It doesn't seem like the diva stereotype is true over at Green Bay when it comes to the wide receiver room. Anyway, that's out there. So I'm wondering, do you have a chip on your shoulder at all do you play with it around having not been really recognized till your senior year at North Dakota to the level of talent that you have? Do you have that like chip, like always proving someone wrong kind of a thing?
I definitely do. I definitely feel like I've had that for a while. And it really hasn't been, proving everybody else wrong for me. I mean, it might sound, cliche, but I mean, for me, it's really just always been proving myself right.
I like that.
I think from the moment I started playing football, I started playing football when I was 4 or 5 years old. So I've been doing it for a long time, and I've always had, a lot of confidence in myself as a player. So, for me, when I got to the point, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with, my whole, football journey or not, but in high school, going into my junior year, I was 5'9", 135 pounds. So, I wasn't always, as big and as strong as I am now. So, I was, overlooked a lot through high school. Got to my senior year, I finally hit a growth spurt, going from my junior year to senior year. I ended up, growing like 6 inches in
crazy.
like a 5-month span.
So it's your senior year in high school, not senior year in college.
Yeah. Senior year in high school. Yep. So Yeah, I was 6'2", 175 pounds going into my senior year. I was like, okay, this is it's time now. And I only got one offer for college football, and that was North Dakota State. But I mean, my mentality was always, all I needed was one opportunity. So I was, just grateful and thankful for that opportunity. So I mean, yeah, I definitely feel like I've been overlooked, a lot in my life and my career of football. But I mean, yeah, for me, it's definitely always just been proving myself right. I know the amount of work, the amount of time, blood, sweat, and tears that I've put in, to the game. And I never try to look at what I haven't gotten. I always just look at what I have gotten, and I've gotten a lot of great things from playing this game, and I've gotten a lot of opportunity as well. So I'm just going to continue to try to prove myself right and continue to just get after it. I think everything that I deserve, I'll get in due time. Whether it's tomorrow or 5 years from now or 10 years from now. So
yeah, that's a good mindset. Good mindset. That's a mantra I'm going to have to add to our list, right? Oh, it's always prove them. Yeah.
I think it's a good time to do that.
Yes, it's a great time. Yeah, go ahead. Tell them what we're doing.
Yeah, we're going to do like a 30-second. We call it No Huddle. It's a new segment. You're the first guest that we're going to do it with. But basically, I'm going to ask you a question. It's going to be between two things, and you just rapid fire tell me the answer between the two.
And you get a pass if you want to take a pass. I mean, they're all easy, but yeah. Okay, wait. So I'm going to get the timer going, and so I'll cut them off, and we'll see how this goes. I'm very excited. Some of them did come. We put it out on our Instagram and TikTok questions to ask you. So some might be from that. All right. Whenever you're ready, go ahead. Start.
All right. French fries or cheese curds?
French fries.
Dive bar or club?
Club.
All right. There we go. Green or white jersey?
White.
Screen pass or deep ball?
Deep ball.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs. Country
or rap?
Rap.
Night owl or early bird?
Night owl for sure.
Chick-fil-A or Chipotle?
Ooh, that's tough. I'm gonna go with Chipotle.
There we go. Spotify or Apple Music?
I was always Apple Music, but now I'm Spotify. So Spotify.
All right. Bowling or darts?
Bowling.
Coffee or energy drink?
Coffee.
Jordan or LeBron? This one's probably going to be a controversial one.
LeBron all day.
There we go. All right. Trash talk or silent killer?
Silent killer.
Singing or dancing?
Dancing.
Truck or sports car?
Sports car.
Indoor or outdoor stadium?
Indoor.
One more. That's all you got.
No, we got two more. Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Man or zone defense?
Man.
All right.
Oh, love it. Is it because you're so damn fast? Are you just like, give me man all day? Like I'm gonna own
man,
you.
Man is always the go-to. Anytime you got an opportunity to go one-on-one, I mean, that's what we want every day of the week. And as a wide receiver, I feel like that's our best opportunity every single time to make a play.
Yeah. I have a question. I don't know if you can answer this, but like, tell me the difference of playing with Rodgers versus Love. He's like a blunt like guy. Like he shows his emotion and like he's definitely not afraid to get on his teammates. So like, do you have any stories of like dropping a pass and maybe hearing it from him, or was he maybe not as bad as the media portrays?
Yeah, no, I mean, just right off the bat, I mean, not even just to try to be nice or whatever. I definitely think he's not anywhere near as bad as the media portrays. I think that when you have someone that has played consistently at the level that he's played at the Hall of Fame level that he's played at,
absolutely.
I mean, there's definitely a standard and a bar that's set, and obviously he knows a lot more than everybody that's on the football field as well. So I feel like the vibe that people see from him is just a guy who's been through everything, super passionate about everything. And I mean, not to say like it's hard to go out there and try to please a guy like that at times, just because obviously it's a lot that you have to do to be in his mind space, and it's hard to do everything that he wants you to do at all the times. But I feel like that at the same time makes everybody that plays with him a lot better, because you're constantly kind of chasing that level and that,
Yeah.
greatness. So, honestly, I will never have anything bad to say about Aaron Rodgers. I think that, he definitely, kind of just kickstarted and, expedited my process into becoming the player, that I am and that I want to be, because I was constantly striving to, chase that perfection and that bar that he set. So I
Absolutely.
mean, I think it was an amazing. It was a short, obviously 1 year stint with him, but I'm definitely super thankful for him. I think that he instilled the confidence in me that I play with still to this day, and
Sure.
it was great playing with him. I think the difference though between him and Jordan, just having played with them at this point, is
Yeah.
Aaron definitely had an openness to him as well. I don't want to say that he wasn't open to having guys out there, but obviously there also is that bar. You have to play at a certain level in order to be successful with Aaron. I think Jordan's been just a lot more feeling like open in
Yeah.
terms of just being able to bring all of the guys along with him without that added pressure of like, oh, I've got to perform, I've got to do this, I've got to make this play, or I'm not gonna be out there.
Sure.
And I feel like that just allows everybody around him to kind of just mold into their own and just go out there and play free and play fast and just grow. I feel like a lot of it has just been being able to grow with Jordan over the years, since he's been the starter.
Yeah.
It's just been a lot easier for guys to just kind of go out there without that pressure of playing. And I don't necessarily think that's even A-Rod's fault. I think it's just the pressure of playing with
Someone
like
veteran.
a known veteran Hall of Fame guy
Sure.
versus being able to grow with a great quarterback that's kind of finding his own as well. It's just kind of like an easier transition where you're kind of finding your own footing as well.
Absolutely. I got a follow-up question to that. So the Packers have been the youngest team for the past 3 years, which kind of puts you in a bizarre situation where you're a vet at 26 years old. So like, tell me about how that's been and how you've got to approach being a leader at such a young age.
Honestly, I feel like it's been really good for us as a team. Obviously, it's had it's downsides too, where you have a lot of guys who are just making rookie mistakes or just making young mistakes.
Yeah.
But I mean that's just part of it. But I mean I think it's been really good for us as a football team as well, just because kind of just going back to piggybacking off of what I was saying about Jay Love. It's just we've all been able to grow together. We've been able to mesh and be a little bit more cohesive as a unit and as a team, because we're all kind of just growing together. We're all learning together. We're all kind of just pushing each other to be better. I mean, I feel like in the wide receiver room specifically, I mean, we all kind of just we're competing every single day, but we're learning stuff from each other every day. Everyone has their own kind of skill set, the things that they're naturally just better at. So I feel like just learning each and every day from each other was huge in terms of pushing our receiver group to be as as good as possible.
Yeah.
You guys seem to have a similar mindset as a team. It's something I've noticed, just like the way you carry yourselves. Is there like a mantra that you have as a team, or a motto that everyone has bought into, or is it just the group that came together?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's really just been the group. I feel like you can always have a mantra. I mean, we've had quite a few mantras and kind of things that we're doing. But I mean, I think it all just comes down to the goal that that we're all chasing, and obviously trying to compete for championships and trying to compete for Super Bowls. And I mean, we have guys. We have a couple of guys who have been in the league for a little bit and are chasing that. And then obviously, I mean, I think the number one goal for anybody stepping foot into the league, as a rookie, is to obviously one day win the Super Bowl. So I mean, that's always just been our go-to. That's always the thing that we lean back on, is just doing everything that we can, sacrificing whatever we need to sacrifice to try to get to that end goal. And I mean, that's kind of always just been our drive and our motivation.
Yeah. So your dad played in the NFL, right?
Yep.
For the Packers. Am I right on that? And so did he help you on the mental side, having, did he guide you at all in this is what you can expect and things like that? Or do you have another role model that helped you in this, career?
Yeah, no, I mean, he definitely did. He definitely did. Obviously it's also, a lot different of a league than, when he played in. I feel like it was, just hearing his stories and everything. The league is, cutthroat in general. It's a tough business. But, obviously it was definitely a lot different of a game, too, back when he played. I think that he's definitely just embraced a lot more of the just the dad role, for
That's
me
nice.
personally.
Yeah.
So I mean that's definitely been good. But I mean, just in terms of a specific role model, I think just coming into the league and being able to learn from guys like Randall Cobb and Alan Lazard, who have were the vets. The vets of my room. Obviously, Randall Cobb is specifically being I think a 10 or 11-year vet at that time. Was able to learn a lot from him in terms of what to expect in the league, and obviously what you've got to do to be successful in the league. So that's definitely where I learned a lot my rookie year from guys who have been doing it for a while.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I got some questions that I think maybe the audience will be curious about. Who's the second fastest person on the team other than you?
The second fastest has got to be Matthew Golden.
Oh, Golden. Yeah.
Got to be Matthew Golden.
Yeah. Still got him though?
Oh yeah, I still got him. I got anybody. You can bring up the 40 times. You can do all that. Honestly, my combine 40 time was the worst 40 time that I've ran in probably the last 7 years. So it is what it is. At the end of the day, if you line it up and you race, I'm not losing to anybody. But
don't you love that? Don't you love that, having that crown? Like,
no doubt,
for sure,
no doubt. But Matthew Golden is fast.
Yeah,
he is really fast.
Another question for you. All right, so the wide receiver room, Melton, obviously wide receiver, switch to DB. You think you can do that or no? What do you think?
Honestly, I don't think that I have. I don't think I definitely did at some point. If you'd have asked me probably like 6 years ago, I probably would have said it would have been an easy switch.
Yeah.
But I mean, at this point, I'm so locked in on just being a wide receiver, trying to avoid getting hit every play. I don't think that I could switch the mentality to hitting someone on every play if I needed to. I take it back. If I needed to, I definitely could. But the want to is definitely not there like it used to. I think I'd much rather do the avoiding than the seeking.
Okay, so back to just some of our listeners curious on the mental side of things. I'm hearing you talk about ways that you get grounded is through family and perspective, it seems like, and also positive self-talk. Has there been a time, because there is in everyone, kind of like injury, there's a time where fear shows up or you have a mental lapse. And how would you tell our listeners, what has helped you to bounce back from those moments? Because every athlete goes through it. And I think it's something also not talked about. Curious on your mental lows and how you bounce back.
I've definitely, had my fair share of mental lows. I mean, it's tough to, to avoid them in certain circumstances. Definitely. Injury is an easy answer. Obviously, coming off the ACL. I'd probably say that first, week or two was definitely, really tough mentally, and just trying to find, a positive light and all that. Obviously, I was able to overcome that. I definitely say that probably the number one thing was just my rookie year, first play. Going out there, first play of my career, win on the route wide open and I drop a touchdown pass.
Oh,
I mean, I definitely probably say just, that was probably the hardest,
sure.
mental pit that I had to get out of in terms of just a confidence standpoint.
Yeah.
Just, letting your teammates down, letting your team down, kind of, letting yourself down, knowing that, everything that you've done to get to that point. And, when it all comes down to it, you drop the pass. And then, obviously I had a couple, drops my rookie year, kind of, just going through that and, until I finally, found my, footing and, got over that hump and, found that confidence again. I mean, it's tough. It's tough to get over. I mean, I think honestly, like anytime you drop a pass, I mean, you have to, try to get over it as quick as you can. But I just say, going in that rookie year where you have all these expectations,
Sure.
for yourself, everyone has expectations of you. And, just the way that it started for me, I think that was a hard hump to get over.
Yeah.
But I think for me, it just came down to just, being able to rely on, other people to kind of just, help you through that.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
And, I had a lot of teammates, and, coaches, obviously, who had a lot of belief in me. Obviously, I wasn't just, dropping passes, left and right, in practice, I was, catching everything and I was doing really good. So
Yeah.
you just got to find a way to just lean back on your work and your preparation.
Yes.
Obviously I know that, if you gave me, 10 more opportunities to catch that ball, I feel like I would catch them, I would catch that ball, 10 times out of 10, after that drop. So I feel like just being able to, fall back on that and just knowing that, this is a catch that I've made, 10,000 times in my life.
Sure.
And, just falling back on that, I know that I didn't drop it because I can't catch a football. I dropped it just, because, mistakes happen and,
Yep.
my hands were a little too far apart on that specific play. And just, kind of be able to understand, why, you made a specific mistake and understand that, the next time you have that opportunity, you're going to obviously learn from that mistake and go on. And there's going to be more mistakes down the road. You kind of got to understand that part as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just been the number one thing, just being able to, lean back on that preparation. You've done everything that, you need to do to get to this point. And, obviously I know what kind of player I am. So I kind of, once I was able to get, back to that point of, understanding,
Sure.
who I am. And, I know that I can be, a great football player. That kind of just helped me, get out of that pit and just, find
Move
that,
forward. Yeah.
find that level head. And, when I
Sure.
made a great play, obviously, I was happy for that. But, obviously I knew too that, if I make a great play and then the next play I, drop a pass that I know that, the next play I can make another great play. So,
Yeah. That
know,
belief is
yeah.
important.
It takes mental toughness, I think, to like bounce back from a bad play. And this is something we ask all of our guests. And not to put you on the spot, but do you have your own definition of mental toughness if you had to, put a finger on it?
I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, that's definitely a tough question to just come straight out with the definition.
We didn't give you any warning.
Yeah,
We're like, what's mental toughness, Christian? Tell us now.
Yeah. I mean, I think if I had to, just mental toughness to me is just be able to just kind of find that point and stay in that point, regardless of what's good going on in your life or your job, or what's bad going on in your life and your job. Just always be able to kind of just go back to that point, where you have that confidence, where you have that positivity and all that, and regardless of what's going on around you, just being able to always come back to that point and know that regardless of what's ahead or what's behind you,
Yeah.
you're good.
Yeah, being in the moment. That's it, right? I mean, so many athletes, part of why we do what we do is this, how do we get them to play in the moment? And exactly what you said, if you're focused on the fact that you dropped a pass, you're not, you're in your head, or you're worried about dropping the next one. So the more you can play in the moment, which is what it looks like you did all year. So, and so tell us about the shoe room really quick before we wrap up here.
Yeah, what's the best pair you got in there?
The best pair I got,
or your like favorite right now, right?
Honestly, my favorite right now, I don't think they're in here right now because I actually just took them to Florida. But my my wife just got me a pair of the off-white Air Force Ones, the yellow ones.
Yeah.
And I think I've been wanting those for like the past 5 years, and I've just never bought them. I never found a good time to get them, and she finally got them for me. So those are definitely one of my favorites. But I have a few pretty good pairs. I've got probably my favorite pair before that was I got I got these Cos Jordan 4s.
Oh,
These
Yeah.
these ones are really sick. I love those.
those are sick. Yeah.
I've got the Ben and Jerry Dunks. So I got a couple exclusive pairs of shoes.
You can
Um,
never have too many, right?
No, you can
I
never have too
mean,
many. I think
never.
I probably have like 100 pairs of shoes in here, and it's not even all of my
Yeah.
shoes on. Yeah, no, I think
Uh,
yeah, my brother kind of forced me into the sneakerhead world. He was a sneakerhead growing up from probably like elementary school to today. So yeah, no, he got me going on the sneakers, and I've been a sneakerhead ever since.
Yeah, we'll wrap up here. We have a couple questions that our listeners wanted us to ask. One was wanting to tell you that they love you, whoever this person was, and I, wanted to respond. You are married, and sounds like to a wonderful woman that knows your shoe game. But lots of love coming your way on our social media. And then one of the questions was, "Where's your favorite stadium outside of Lambeau, of course, to play?"
Oh, my favorite stadium outside of Lambeau to play.
Do not stay Soldier Field, or we're going
Yeah,
to end this
no,
real quick.
honestly, it's tough to say because I don't know if I would necessarily say that it's my favorite stadium to play, but like one of the coolest stadiums to play in is US Bank Stadium, the Minnesota Vikings Stadium. I mean, I feel like just them coming out before the game with the horn. It's tough to say because I mean I'm talking about an NFC North opponent here.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
But yeah, no, I mean it's a really cool stadium to play in for sure. Honestly, just some of those newer stadiums, like I think the Falcon. I didn't play in the game there, but the Falcons Stadium was super cool too.
Yeah.
Let
Well,
me see
okay.
though.
Speaking of rivalry, why you think if you have another answer to that, is the rivalries, do you as a team like buy in like to it from a mental perspective? Like this is a rivalry game. And is there like a mental component of that shows up from like, for you personally, I guess, like rivalry games?
Yeah, honestly, 100%. I think
Yeah.
every time, I think that whole week is kind of amped up a little bit more. Like anytime that we're playing the NFC North opponent,
Yep.
the Vikings, the Bears, the Lions. I mean, you can definitely feel the energy is just turned up a little bit more. We definitely buy into that.
As you should, right? That's what
Yep.
makes it good.
Yep,
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was just gonna say that the game, like the games too, you can definitely feel, you feel a little bit more chippiness, you feel a little bit more energy. I feel like you get like a different version of that team,
For sure.
and when we're playing those teams, so it's always
there.
yeah. It's always a good time when
Well,
when you're playing those rivalry games because they're definitely amped up a little bit more.
I feel it, and I buy into superstition, which obviously as a mental coach, I don't, like to teach. But Owen, you have to ask him your favorite question because you and I argue about this all the time.
Oh yeah, I always like to know superstitions, but I have a different question. I know you kind of answered it when we did the little 30-second question thing, but like, are you a guy that like just lets like your game do the talking, or will you ever like get chippy and talk shit?
No, I definitely talk shit sometimes,
Good,
but
good. I like it.
but yeah, no, honestly, most of the time I usually just kind of want to go out there and play. I feel like sometimes people are just talking shit for no reason, or like they'll say something like on a play where I cooked them on a route, but they didn't throw me the ball on that play, so then they'll try to say like, oh, he locked me up, but like at the end of the day, like I won the route. So I mean, honestly, yeah, I don't like. I only buy into that, when it really gets, down to the wire, or where the game is just getting a little bit more intense. I'll definitely, start talking a little bit more. But
Sometimes I don't know. Like for me, when I used to play, like it kind of like got me going a little bit, but I don't know.
Yeah, no. It definitely does. But you know, for me, I definitely would probably say I do less talking than probably some other guys.
Yeah, you're known like to be like cool-headed and even, I think. It's like the beat on you for sure.
Who talks the most shit? Like
either good question.
Like that you've played against or whatever, maybe on the Packers.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, there's a lot of people that I played against that talk a lot, but I'd say
Nixon's got to be up there.
Yeah. No, honestly, Keyshawn is definitely probably number one for just I've heard him talk more shit than probably anybody, but I'd probably say the best shit talker that I've been around is probably Dontavion Wicks.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Nah, he's always got like the best comeback, or like he always backs it up too. Like he'll never talk if it's not like warranted. So he's definitely probably the best shit talker that I've been around.
There we go.
I mean, that's so fun when someone's good at it and knows when to drop it. It's just it makes the game. I kind of do like the mic'd up for that very reason, when someone's good at it. Okay, anybody you're pulling for? Since we're gonna go get the ring next year, but anybody you're pulling for here in the end?
I mean, honestly, I'm still kind of getting over the fact that
we're not talking about it. Yeah, I'm not over it. I'm not over it. Yeah.
Honestly, I'm rooting for NFC. I want an NFC team to win the Super Bowl. I'll be all right with that. But yeah, no, obviously, it's tough.
Okay, fine. Yeah, it's tough. It's all right. Well, next year I'm onto it already. And any superstitions or like pregame rituals you want to let us in on that you do?
I mean, honestly, I try to say that I'm not, a super superstitious guy. I try not to lean into that too much, but I mean, I still do have like a routine that I follow, and I kind of do get, a little upset when I'm not able to, follow that routine.
Okay.
But I mean, specifically like for every day, we have a strength coach that I stretch with before every practice. I'll say it every single practice. Like if I don't get my stretch with Coach Hill before this practice, I can't practice.
Yeah.
So like I gotta get that every single time. And then something that I noticed that I do like every single game, I didn't even think about it probably until like week like 14, 15 of like this year. I always gotta put my pads in my pants like in this specific order. I always do my right thigh pad, my left thigh pad, and then my right knee pad and my left knee pad. And I kind of caught myself almost putting my left one in first before a game one day, and I was like,
no,
nah, I gotta restart. I gotta restart. So I mean that's kind of just like a little like a little superstition I kind of like just picked up on.
Yeah.
I gotta get ready like the same way every single game.
Yeah, it's a ritual. Well, whatever you're doing, keep doing it because you're really fun to watch. And I know I say that not just for me, for my oldest son, Jack, who's a big diehard, for Matt Neal. I have to give him a shout out because they helped us with questions for you. But for Packer Nation, I do think we're maybe the best fan base out there. You got to give us that with our love.
Yeah. 100%.
Right?
Yeah, 100%.
The love is deep,
Oh, yeah.
My dad had paid off all of his grandkids $50 every win that the Packers had to ensure the love for the Packers over the years.
Oh yeah, no, that's a good deal. That's a good deal right there.
Right? You're like, why am I not getting it? I should get you on the payroll. Well, thanks so much for your time, and we really appreciate it. All you out there listening, join us next time for another athlete, more stories, and mental toughness. If you need a mental coach, check us out at puresportsmindset.com or on our Instagram at puresportsmindset. Thanks again, Christian, for joining us today and all your wisdom and all your tips on how to bounce back from adversity. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.